Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, I'm a geek, you are watching Kevin the Geek, and we are back for, of course, the absolutely wonderful show of Not Going Out. But it is not just any episode, it's Series 5, it is episode 4, Running, and I'm really hoping that Lee is doing like the London Marathon or something like that in this episode, because the London Marathon, as I'm recording this, literally happened in the weekend just gone, and I needed to give out the biggest shout out to my friend Heather, who this year she was running the London Marathon. She did it on behalf of her husband, who is a police officer, and the charity for it is called Police Care, and her husband, he basically was involved in a really horrific incident that he was trying to arrest and detain, a despicable criminal, and ended up not only severely injured as a part of it, but to the point that he has been suffering mentally, has had like PTSD, so much stuff from this really traumatic case. And a lot of the time, some officers believe that they're not getting the support that they should, have. In reality, obviously, I'm not a police officer myself. I don't know the ins and outs of that, so I can't comment on anything like that. That's nothing to do with me. But she, of course, is trying to raise money for a very worthwhile charity, and did it through doing an incredible feat. So hats off to you, Heather. Much love to you and Josh. But for now, let's see what this episode is about for Not Going Out.
We are not going out.
I can't believe you're doing all this training just for a fun run.
Fun run?
It's not exactly a serious race, is it? I bet you'll see more honey monsters than Kenyans.
This is like doing a three-legged race with my less developed Siamese twin. Is that what this is all about then? Trying to prove yourself to your beloved landlady? All you need is a sports massage. I know someone good. They helped me out recently with a squash injury.
Ah, that really hurts, you know.
Okay, time for t-shirt off, I think. Happy ending.
Oh! She's that kind of masseuse.
It says exotic massage.
I thought that meant you were Brazilian or something.
I do have Brazilian.
Oh!
If you are hooker as well, make sure he pays you first.
Oh, I've got plum fairies.
Try not to get injured when you do running. And when it comes to women, always keep away from very large poles.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh my god. I should have seen that coming, but the split second cut to that was impeccable. That was bloody brilliant. The way that you did that, that kind of bit of the timing there. Right, okay. So, it's an interesting one, that one, because I'm trying to think how to word this. Like, I don't know a lot about the world of prostitution in the UK. I don't know like how legal it is. I mean, because you hear these different things, and there'll be like I've known people that have used websites and said, oh, I've got an escort of some kind, and obviously there was the big thing on Fat Friends that we've been watching. The character Val, I think it is. Her boyfriend is an escort, and he's through a legitimate agency. So, like, is it technically legal, like, to escort and offer companionship services, but and in theory, is it legal to offer those extra services via payment, this is so hard to try and think how to word it. You know, so is it illegal to do that, but it's illegal to like to be standing on a street corner kind of thing? Is that it, or is it because it's just such a weird like grey area. I mean, I tell you what, I'm just going to put it in here, right? Right. So I've just put it into Google, and the AI overview bit at the top, and I don't know how it is and everything, but in the UK, buying and selling sexual services is legal, but certain related activities are criminalised, including soliciting in public places, running a brothel, and controlling prostitution for financial gain. Okay. Right, okay, so detailed breakdown. Prostitution itself is legal. Individuals can buy and sell sexual services in private. So yeah, that would make sense then with that bit with the escort in Fat Friends, that he is like, when they're in private, is going like, I can sleep with you. If you want to sleep with me, it'll cost you X amount of money. And that's basically it. But yeah, doing it on the street or having a brothel or anything, that is, that is an offence. And to be a pimp is an offence as well. Yeah, and then the basically you do have part of the Sexual Offences Act from 2003. That's where a lot of the prostitution stuff comes in. This is from the Crown prosecution, which, to be fair, is good for me to learn, because the job that I do, that I've been doing for about a month or so, it does relate to when you are taking cases through the court system. And they obviously did kind of speak in this episode about that. And like when Tim's, like Lee and Tim, they come out and they say, is there the evidence to do it? I mean, my limited knowledge of the legal system and barristers and stuff like that is like that, limited. In reality, all that the police officers saw was them handing money to a prostitute. And presumably, it will be a known area. That is why they're kind of going down there. They're seeing all these women and they're scattering and everything. So they're probably aware of it, because that's the thing with a lot of crimes, particularly organised crimes. It is something that is often known to police. Whether they can actually do enough, because this is the thing, and this is the misconception people have with regards to the police. In order to take a crime and to be able to officially charge them, you will normally have to meet a certain level of criteria in terms of the amount of evidence that's available. Then it would then go to the prosecution, the Crown Prosecution Service. They would then take that information and they would look at it and go, based on this evidence that the police have given to us as the prosecution, do we have enough evidence from a legal standpoint that we realistically think that we can convict? If it's a bit of a grey area, they can take a bit of a chance and they can make that argument, go, is it in the public interest to pursue this case? And if they do, that's when they will obviously put it to, they'll always start out at the magistrate's court. So this is something that I've learned recently doing this job. It'll always start the magistrate's court. And then depending on what will happen, you could then, so if it was, let's say, like a driving offence, and so you were caught speeding, for example, you could get called to the magistrate's court and say you attended what's called a first hearing, and at that point it's basically your opportunity to plead guilty or not guilty. If you plead guilty, you can literally be charged a sort of a sentence on the day, or depending on what the case may be, maybe if you've got other cases outstanding against you for other crimes that you've done, they may delay it and do the sentencing at a later point. They don't necessarily have to do it at that point, at that first hearing, because some crimes they will literally go before the magistrate's court, and let's say it's a murder, for example. It'll be one of those like, this isn't being dealt with here. It's too major for it to be dealt with at the magistrate's court, which is the trivial crimes, basically. It'll be things like thefts, and sometimes there'll be like stalking cases, like harassment and whatnot. But yeah, so then they'll go, right, we're going to the Crown Court, and that is the typical one where you will have a judge, you will have a jury. If it goes to trial, of course they can still plead guilty and avoid all of that, but that's what can happen with that. But yeah, the statistics of getting to the point of actually like going to it, like I did a seminar last week about stalking, which you may have seen. I put a little post about Stalking Awareness Week, and I want to thank the people there was a few people who said, like, because I admitted I'd been a victim of stalking for basically about 10 years, and I'll tell the story some of the time. Yeah, so when I was going through this, they were talking about it, and they were saying, like, on average, that there is estimated around about 100,000 cases in the UK of stalking every year. Of those, it will be something like around about maybe like 10% of them actually get reported to the police. Of those 10% that get reported to the police, it will be then about 3% that have enough evidence to be able to make an arrest. It would be then like 2% of those that have enough evidence to then be able to formally charge them. And then it'd be like 1% of even that who actually have enough evidence to like make a proper case at the Crown Court. Because there's so many barriers that's in there. And this is the misconception I think that people have about the police is, they think the police just aren't doing enough. From my limited experience of being, a staff member of the police commission, seeing the side of things that I've never seen before, it gives me a very different appreciation for it. I'll be completely honest. And yes, I believe that there can always, in some cases, be more that can be done, but at the same time, you've got so many stuff that's happening on a daily basis, stuff that you don't even know about. Like I had one today. I had 6 cases where the people didn't turn up for court. So because they didn't turn up for court, the courts then have to issue a warrant for arrest. That means that they will, maybe two police officers, they'll get a warrant for Mr. Joe Bloggs, and they say, right, so you've been given this warrant, you've got to try and arrest this person so that we can get them to court. So you'll try and track them down. You try and go to any of the known residences that you have on file for them. You try and get them to attend court. And if you see them, you arrest them, you take them to court and everything. Like, just literally, like, if they, say I had the warrant out for my arrest, and they came to find me, these people, that could take them like an hour to get to my address. They could then get to my address. They could then speak to me and go, you were due in court today. You didn't turn up. Why did you turn up? They have that conversation. Then they go, well, I didn't want to go, or whatever the case may be. Even if it could literally be, I forgot, they'll go, well, unfortunately, we now have to arrest you. It's literally a warrant for your arrest. You failed to turn up on court, so we're going to arrest you. We're going to take you back over to custody. So they'll take me over to custody to where the local cells are. They'll put me in. They'll obviously have to process me. They'll do all this different kind of stuff. For these officers, that is taking time out of their day that they could be doing what many people will rightfully say, oh, you're not going after the muggers, the murderers, the this, the that, the whatever. It's because you have such trivial stuff like people not turning up for court. That will mean that you're taking duties, more valuable duties, away from officers to try and do these more trivial things. Now, doing this job, like, I can understand the frustrations of people, but at the same time, I will say that I think it is very, very harsh now that I know more about what happens on a regular basis. And so, yeah, there's my viewpoints for that. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun reacting to this, and yeah, as always, please subscribe, turn on notifications, drop your comments down below, all the usual bits and bobs. But for now, My name is Kevin. I am a geek. You've been watching Kevin the Geek.